You know what no one tells you about letting go of the past is that it doesn't always come with actual closure. A lot of people try to focus on the closure part and don't realize that that's really rare to find. Sometimes letting go just comes with silence. When I moved to the UK, I thought that distance would make things simpler. A new place, new people, clean slate. But a lot of that space between me and my old life made me realize how much I was still actually carrying with me. Old beefs, old hurt, old relationships, old stories, old versions of myself that I had long outgrown, but for some reason still felt loyal to. It's funny that I thought that moving across the ocean would help me move on, but it turns out it actually made moving on a lot more complicated because all of that baggage just comes with you as you're going through customs. Those emotions are with you forever, it feels like. I think part of why we hold on so tightly is because the past is familiar, right? Even when it's heavy, it's just something that you know. Even the uncomfortable truths are somehow comforting because you know that it's better than the unknown, or at least you think it's better than the unknown. Because letting go means that you have to step into something that has not been defined yet, is completely empty space in front of you. And I was the type of person where I would replay old conversations in my head. Like, what if I had said this? Or what if I had done that instead? So one day I can go back and say this, and this is something that I should have said. And really, at the end of the day, the truth is that version of me just doesn't live here anymore. The person who had all of those issues and all of those quarrels and all of those hurts has completely changed. That person stayed there somewhere between New Jersey traffic and Heathrow Airport. And now I'm trying to figure out the Heathrow Airport version and the person that I thought I was to the person that I am becoming now. The realization is that it took me a while to understand that holding on to the past actually isn't preservation. It keeps you from evolving. Every time I looked back at my old life, and even when I was comparing it, and even when I was happy about the comparisons and that it felt better about my life here in the UK, what it was actually doing was pulling energy away from the life that I was trying to begin here in the UK. That is the hardest part about growth. It's not always about adding more. Sometimes it's about letting go of what no longer fits. And you can't invite in what's next if your hands are full holding on to something that's already gone. I had to learn to stop romanticizing people who existed in chapters that I had already finished in my life. They were important at that time. They mattered to me very much. And those moments are still significant to me and always will be. But that doesn't mean that they belong in the next part of my story. Forgetting, it means freeing yourself to move forward. I think the real freedom comes when you stop needing closure from other people and start giving it to yourself. When you can look back and say, thank you for being a part of my story, but this is the next chapter and I have to go and write it on my own. That's when you stop waiting for the past to make sense to you. That's when you stop waiting for the closure and you stop waiting for answers to all of those questions that you're never going to get anyway. And this is where you start creating a future that actually does make sense. So moving abroad didn't magically erase my old life. It actually magnified what I needed to release more than I imagined it would by far. But in doing that, it also gave me something even better. It gave me some peace, some self-respect, and it gave me the courage to start over, to start again. It took me a while to really understand that letting go isn't losing something. It's actually just clearing space for what was meant to be there in the first place. Maybe that's the entire point, right? Closure is about closing something off and opening a new path to make room for love that actually fits the person you're becoming and makes room for a new chapter. And this chapter in my life is all about learning to let go so that something better can finally find you. And it's a great lesson. And I'm so happy that I've learned it. And I don't know that I would have ever learned it if I didn't move to the UK. So thank you, UK.